Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the 12th Learning Student Development Forum. Nobody really knows where Britain is heading with all political uncertainty. The only thing we know is that the future is now. And the future is now for you today. So please start networking during your lunch break and coffee breaks later on with the 18 people which are guest speakers today.
This year in London alone, there will be over 8,000 hotel bedrooms built. Another 3,500 outside of London. This has been mirrored by expansions in the corporate, business and industry and events world. This growth affords you an amazing opportunity to forge a great career in this industry.
I'm so pleased to see so many young people here today, because if there's ever a time that the hospitality industry needed youth and energy and creativity, it's right now, particularly with some of the interesting challenges in Britain today. A good leader is somebody who recognises that if the people working with them and for them feel motivated and feel taken care of and feel respected.
I spent 12 months at the Savoy doing a rotational internship in food and beverage. I worked in restaurant for 6 months and then 6 months in events, and that's where I met Dana.
So I started with the Savoy Hotel on my second year, where I did a 1-year placement. It was a 4 rotations I had, working in the restaurant, events operations, furthermore went to the concierge and finally to the front desk.
Some organisations, you'll go in and it's already set up, it's established, it's well known, and you'll become what we know as an editor. You'll come in and you'll make the tweaks and you'll tidy it up and you'll maybe improve it a little bit. There are other organisations, like where Michael and I are at the moment, where we're authors. We're actually writing the story, and in our company at the moment, we've written chapter 1 and chapter 2, which is we've opened 4 hotels. We kind of know what chapter 3 and 4 look like, but we have no clue what 5 or 6 look like at the moment, because we're in this development stage, we're in this growth stage, and we really are taking every opportunity and every challenge as it comes along. You know, we've just purchased, we didn't realise, but you know, we just purchased 2 new properties, one in Liverpool, one in Birmingham. That wasn't on the cards, you know, a few months ago. So that's another opportunity. All of our properties are unique. There's not one size fits all, so that brings challenges as well for us as well. And Michael's in exactly the same boat with his new projects as well. So have a real think about the companies you want to work for. Do you want to be a person that is involved at the start, that is actually writing the story and gets very excited about writing? And writing the story means there's no rules, there's not a lot of process, there's not a lot of procedures. You have to put a lot of those things in place. And Josh is exactly at that at the moment. He's an author at the moment for The Curtain as well. Or do you want to go and work for a larger organisation, maybe some of the larger hotel companies that actually are well-established, all contract catering companies that are well-established, have got everything boxed off, and you're going in and you're just making some tweaks and changes?
I would say to myself to literally start branching out, start getting on LinkedIn, start working on your social profile, start working on your following. It's a really nice thing to have someone to give you that guide as well. So for myself personally, having a mentor 5 years ago probably would have been more helpful as well.
It's so important to get as much experience in different things, and you learn something every time, whether for good or for bad, and sometimes the bad stuff is the things you learn most from actually.
There's a lot of different arms and options out there, and you've got exactly what Josh said, you've got to find what suits you.
The Olympics gave me the best opportunity of my life. First of all, to know the people, and obviously to a huge major project to be managing. And whereby I was offered that role, the only things I thought to myself was, can I make it? Am I going to be actually capable to manage such a big plot with so many apartments and so many people? And inside, one person always told me, just try.
When you arrive for an interview, it's highly likely that the person that initially greets you is not the person that is interviewing you. These are our spies. Yeah? The hotel receptionist, the doorman, the luggage porter, if you're coming to a hotel, they know that you're coming for an interview. They're going to give me a call, say, Jess, your interview's here. They look really nervous, but they were so polite when they arrived. You know, these people, every single person you interact with when you arrive for the interview is so key. I will hear this, I will find out that. I know that if you are proud of where you've worked in the past and proud of the job that you've done, I want to see pride when you talk about your colleagues and the people that have inspired you and what you've achieved during your time there. I know that that's going to reflect our business when you're a part of our team.
And at this time, this was like early 90s, there was a chef in London really making his name called Marco P.O.Y. I remember seeing this book and thinking, oh my God, I want to work for this guy. And I was in Cambridge, never been to London in my life. As a commis chef, I was like, this is what it's about. This is why I got into the industry. And it was mentioned about passion earlier. I can't remember who mentioned passion. Maybe it was Jess, said that it's all about passion. And I was like, this is what I want to do and this is where I want to be. And I worked for Marco for 4 years and I worked my way up through his many different restaurants. And then after 4 years of working for Marco, I made it to his 3-star restaurant. And again, another eureka moment, if you like, or another inspirational moment, or a moment I'll always remember. I remember cooking the fish. He put me on the fish section, and I was cooking the fish at a 3-star Michelin restaurant, and considering there's only 3 in the country at this time. And I said, wow, this is 10 years ago in Cambridge, I saw a book by this guy, and I wanted to work for this guy. And I had knockbacks, and it took me a long time, and I stood there and I was cooking fish at a 3-star restaurant, cooking for one of the best chefs in the country, and I was like, yes, this is why I love the industry, this is why I want to be a chef, and this is what it's all about for me. And you all have those moments as well, when you go into your careers and you go out into the big wide world and you'll achieve something, and you'll be dreaming of doing this for a long time. And those are like the best moments, and those are the moments you need to savor, and they will really drive you and motivate you to do many, many things.
With Brexit coming, we're going to be really looking for every employee that we can find. So I think there's a real incentive for employers to up their game. We at the moment are fighting over the graduates coming out of university. So why don't you cherry pick, and why don't you make sure that you're sending your students to the very best employers? And that means the ones that are doing gender diversity. And especially for those girls, they need to go to places where they can see the next step up, and they can see that they're going to be taken seriously, and they can see that there's going to be progression for them.
This year, as Paul mentioned, I joined the Institute of Hospitality Committee, London branch, focusing on the diversity and inclusion agenda across the hospitality industry. What a role. But it's not just about LGBT. There are many more diversity groups, such as gender diversity, men and women, BAME, Black, Asian and ethnic minority ethnic groups, disability, age, faith, and so many more.
In terms of hospitality, the workforce, we're losing a bit of an experience pool at the moment. We're going to have to accept that people are going to have to learn on the job and give them the time and the support to do that.
It's the person, we're trying to find the character and the personality really on that.
It's about being rounded and being able to show all areas of competency and behavioural ability.
I think there are some roles that maybe need more key skills in order to do the role. I mentioned chefs, HR, finance people.
Nothing I like better than when one of my members of staff says, have you seen that great little restaurant that's just opened around the corner? Fabulous tapas, fabulous fish, whatever it might be. Brilliant, that's what we want. Then I say to them, you go, talk to the owner, see if they want to do an arrangement with us. We don't want a kickback for us. We want benefits for our guests. We want our team members to interact with the guests in an appropriate way. Not just interact, but understand the guests, empathize with the guests, be able to read the guests. That's asking one hell of a lot of people like yourselves when you come out of training. It is a really big ask, and I'm not sure whether we as employers always fully understand what we're asking of the young people in front of us. We expect a hell of a lot of you, but sometimes and I'm not sure that we're always fully cognizant of what we're asking you to do. And you're the ones who have to deliver. And if you get it right, the results are phenomenal.
This industry is opening the doors wide for you. Walk through it and be the leaders of tomorrow.